How's it going, everyone? I'm Daniel Berry from exoticcartrader.com, and I'm standing here with a very special project. This Ford Bronco has been fully custom built by our good friend and client, Greg Hoffman, who I'm standing here with today. And Greg is gonna go and show us around this truck, give us the breakdown, give us the year, all the specs on it. This has been a long awaited build, and he's done an excellent job, so I want him to showcase it for you guys.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, we have a 1972 Ford Bronco. It's finished in Brittany Blue. It is a frame-off nut and bolt restoration. It sits on a TDK throttle down customs frame that is mandrel bent, custom built out of, I believe they're out of Montana. They do an exceptional job. The frame is absolutely laser straight. On top of the frame, we have beautiful condition steel body. We have a 2-inch body lift made by Wild Horses, a 3.5-inch suspension lift by Wild Horses with Bilstein shock absorbers. The suspension is all completely new. The axles are new. Everything that you see is new. The most important thing, I think, is that the car is powered by a Ford Coyote 5-liter crate motor from Ford Racing. It's a brand new motor. It is not pulled out of an F-150 or a Mustang. It's from Summit Racing. It has a 24,000 mile warranty. It's coupled to a 6-speed 6R80 transmission. It's one of the only Broncos that I've seen with a Coyote that has a 6-speed. Normally people have 4 speeds in them. It has Wilwood brakes with a power booster. It has power steering. It has windshield wipers. It has, an Optima red top battery, a 3-core radiator. It has a full heating and air conditioning system by Vintage Air. The car is absolutely loaded. It has every option that we thought was appropriate.
It sounds really aggressive. When we were driving here, I couldn't help but just hear the awesome notes that it was making. So what kind of exhaust and header setup did you have put on that?
Sure, thanks for it. Yeah, that's it's all BC Bronco, stainless exhaust with ceramic coating on the headers. They are absolutely custom made. They integrate the oxygen sensors into the manifold, so it all complies with emissions and everything as far as we can tell. It has a magnaflow stainless steel exhaust system that comes off of the headers into a 3-inch exhaust out by the rear axle, and it does sound pretty mean.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, man. And when I was popping my head under there to check out the exhaust, I couldn't help but notice how awesome everything was underneath, how clean. It's just as beautiful underneath as it is on top.
Sure.
What about your axles? I mean, what did you guys do for that?
Sure. So a local shop named Gears and Rears in Fort Lauderdale, he assembled the axles. He is a veteran builder of axles and off-road components. He assembled everything out of Yukon gear, 31 spline axles. They're absolutely bulletproof chrome moly axles. I've never heard of anybody breaking them even with the Coyote and the high power, the 435 horsepower that this truck has.
Yeah.
We have a full Mosier center section in the rear, 370 gears. That's all, again, brand new. Has clear coat on it, so it'll stay nice and shiny for the new owner. It has Wild Horses rear suspension, Bilstein rear shocks, carried through the Wilwood from the 6-piston front brakes to 4-piston rear. It has an integrated emergency brake in those rear brakes. So we have the fuel tank that is by BC Bronco, and it is 23 gallon. I believe they refer to it as the Sherman tank. It's the heaviest gauge fuel tank that I've ever seen. It's super heavy duty, super tough, and it holds 23 gallons. It has an internal fuel pump that meets the demands of the Coyote. The fuel pressure regulators in the engine bay set up perfectly, aeromotive stuff. It has all stainless fuel lines, all stainless brake lines. This truck is absolutely no expense was spared on this truck. We use nothing but the best components.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, the exterior is beautiful. The power plant's ridiculous. It handles awesome. It stops just as good as it gets going, which is great. But my favorite part are the small details on the interior, which I want to show everyone.
Sure.
The biggest one to me, which I'm still like mind blown over, is I always have these people that maybe are not as tall as us, or
right.
They want to bring their spouse that's
right.
shorter in. And so this, I'm sure your wife loves this.
Sure, she does.
Popping that open and those
the steps come down.
That's cool. So I haven't seen this before. Tell us about that.
These are BC Bronco sells a kit to integrate the amp research steps in. Basically, they're the steps that you see in any Platinum F-250 or brand new truck that Ford rolls out. but they've been shortened obviously to accommodate the two-door chassis of the Bronco.
Yeah.
So they work well, they're lit at night, they're exceptional. They close the door, they go back up about 10-15 seconds later. So they're a pretty trick option that nobody really sees on these Broncos.
Yeah, it's a really nice color combo too. So what is this? It's a leather and almost like a tweed center stitching here.
So it's marine grade vinyl in case it does get rained on, in case you do get caught in the rain. It has marine grade vinyl that burnished ball glove look, and then that's together with the tweed. And we just think it pops on the Brittany Blue. And then we took the Wimbledon white, which is a Ford correct color, and we used the Wimbledon white for the dashboard, which is all custom. If you take a look at the dashboard, normally you'd see the heater knobs and a radio and a bunch of clutter in the dash, and we took it and we smoothed it out. We made it beautiful. It has 4 AC vents across. All that you see in the middle are the nice, clean vintage air controls. And you have 3 switches: wipers, lights, and ignition. That's it. Everything else is hidden in the car. The radio is in the center console, so you flip that open. You have full access to the head unit. You have Bluetooth. You have everything that you'd expect to have on a quality build like this, and it doesn't offend the eye. Everything's nice and clean.
Yeah.
It is the way you would expect it to be.
I liked how you had the hidden head unit there, which is great because you could flip that open and close, and it keeps it a really clean, original kind of look there.
Sure.
But the audio sounds great. So there are kicker speakers?
Yes, sir. There's 4 kicker speakers in the rear. They're all insulated. They sound really great. They do a good job getting the highs out because, you know, with no top, sometimes it's challenging to get a good sounding system, but it sounds great. The bass is nice and low. The highs are clear. And I think it's because the kicker makes a quality product.
Yeah, that's awesome. And a lot of the Broncos now, they're kind of beach rats, I call them, where they have the Line-X spray.
Sure.
In there. I really like the carpet. You don't see it as often now,
Yep.
but this is not a off-road. If you wanted it to be, it could, but most people are not going to use that for that when you're spending this kind of money.
Right.
So I think that gives it a really classy, clean look,
Right.
and you really have that feeling of a modern day luxury vehicle, because that's
Right.
essentially what it is, but you have that classic look. So
Yeah.
that's accompanied really nicely together.
I appreciate that, and just so that everybody's clear, the carpet does easily come out. It's held in by the stainless moldings on the sides. The entire inside of the vehicle is wrapped rhino lined, completely matched, 100% matched the Brittany Blue exterior. So if you do want to do that, it's ready to go.
Sure.
It's nothing's been skipped on this car. Absolutely everything's been done. I think one of the cool things too, Dan, is the power windows.
So this is really mind blowing to me. So anytime you see these, you see and you just automatically think of the old times of having to crank your window, leaning over the opposite side, trying to crank it. This is really the coolest feature on the truck, I think, and it's such a small detail.
The
These power windows, and it's literally just a small touch, and these things go up like no problem.
Yep.
And you also have power locks on it as well, right?
Yep, power windows, power locks. The locks are actuated by the key fob, just like you'd get on a new car today. Same thing. It's one of those things that people don't expect, but you know, it's a creature comfort, and we didn't want to limit any creature comforts that people are used to.
So you have power windows, power locks, you have your regular windshield wipers, you
Power
have
steps.
AC,
Yep.
power steps. Even the gauges are brand new looking gauges.
Yep.
I mean, this thing is literally a brand new car. And,
It is.
And when I got it up on the lift and got to see underneath it, it's cleaner than any new car I've even seen. So
It is.
I just got to say you did an amazing job on it, and we're so excited to list it. We would just want to thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at Exotic Car Trader. Follow our YouTube page. We're always posting more and more videos. You'll see more of his builds for sure in the future. We've got a nice little partnership where we like to work with each other. He does awesome work. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Daniel at Exotic Car Trader. Tune in for more of this action. Thanks for watching.